everyone, I'm Pion and welcome to Space Tyrant. What is Space Tyrant, you ask? I like to call it a mini Space 4X roguelite. It's gonna leave Steam Early Access on the 27th of February, so in a few days, and this is what it looks like. So in this game, you play as the bad guy, you're the Space Tyrant who tries to conquer the space, or the galaxy, or whatever, like all of space, I guess. And it's a mix of a roguelite and a 4X game. I'm gonna try to explain that really quick. So the 4X component of this game is very fast. One mission takes around 30 to 60 minutes, so that's very short for a regular 4X game, obviously. But those missions are coupled together to a campaign, and that campaign follows the roguelite pattern by being like permanent. You don't have save slots or anything. You can lose the campaign, and if you do so, you have to restart all over again. You can, and the campaigns are different every time you play them, and you unlock permanent things like options like races and items and stuff like that, or events that can happen by playing the game. So future campaigns will be different because of that as well. So we're in one of those missions right now. It's an easy mission, so it should be fairly easy to beat. And we have two victory conditions right now. We can either control 60% of all planets, that's 14, or have an income of 400 credits per turn. Income of 400 credits, the income per turn is over here. So if you get that to 400 or conquer 16 planets, 16, 14 planets, now we win this mission. We lose the mission by either losing our homeworld or by losing all our tyranny. So when the tyranny meter, which is this one, goes to 0, we lose. Right now we have 60 and we will lose 10 per turn because of unrest. Unrest is the red bar down here. That can rise or decrease for other reasons, for the various different reasons. Sorry. And yeah, if you gain tyranny by doing bad things or evil things like conquering planets and winning fights and stuff like that, that increase your tyranny meter. And yeah, if it goes to 0, you lose. So it's not like it's not a symmetric game. You don't like the enemy doesn't. There's no enemy who's like plays by the same rules as you. You play against the Senate. Sorry, we play against the Senate, who has different rules depending on the mission you play. I think in this mission he will be pretty passive and only attack occasionally, if I remember correctly. But that's not the lose condition. Like the Senate is not trying to achieve the same goals as I do. But enough of the talk, let's start playing, shall we? So this is our homeworld, this is our fleet, there's our captain right now, and we're gonna conquer a planet. Let's zoom out a little bit and see where we go. So we could conquer one of those research labs or this thing over here. I'm not sure what that actually is, what they call barracks. Yeah, okay. So this will make it easier for us to conquer other things, or siege planets, I should say. But I think we start with the research. Question is, in which direction do we go? We have more options up there. I think we start by going here. There's a little fleet there, but that should not be too big of a deal. We could increase our fleet first. That's maybe a good idea. Let's do that. So we go to the shipyard and buy a destroyer to fill up our fleet slots. You can see my ships are damaged right now. That's because my commander is damaged, which is because I lost a mission with him earlier in the campaign, which is unfortunate, but it should not stop us from winning this mission, to be frank. So when you get to a planet and there is another fleet, you will fight that fleet, and the other fleet has a commander as well. Commanders have a special ability. We can actually see it somewhere. There, I think if I mouse over him, shield boost is his ability, and I have Poke Patch. There we go. There's the tooltip as well. Shield boost, shields regen at a double speed. Okay, that's mean. So this luck race has a lot of shields usually. So shields are quite annoying when you fight them. But enough of that. So we have to choose a tactic. That's a special thing we can use once per combat. We have to choose 1 out of 3 every fight, and well, we can then use it. So what do we go with? I think we go with stun. Stun is actually fairly good. Let's take that. So that allows us to stun a ship, and I think we start by doing that. So combat runs in real time. You can slow it down though, or speed it up as you desire. And you can see there's an action meter up there. And I'm gonna start using abilities here, which cost energy. And I will now wait for my I will now wait for enough energy to use my commander ability, and the ships fire automatically, but you can use their abilities. As you can see, there's a breach that we have to seal that costs 1 point of energy as well. They're not really taking damage because of the shield. Oh, wait, okay, we destroyed one of the ships, that's good. And we have enough energy for more volleys. He is in the nebula, increased evasion, okay. I take that, so let's speed up the process a little bit. The ships can only use their abilities once, until they get inspired. That's the thing you just saw, the little wings going down there. That means they get inspired, which allows them to use their ability again. If they don't get inspired, they will use their ability exactly once per battle. You can use your command ability over and over again, however. So there's some consideration about that. Like in long fights, you usually end up having a lot of energy in the towards the end, because your ships are all used their abilities already, so you're running out of options to spend your energy on if you don't get a lot of inspiration from like, there are different ways of getting that. There's abilities that increase the chance of inspiration. There's the one tactic that gives me more inspirations and stuff like that. So my commander leveled up, that improves his ability and also increases his fleet size, which is more important, to be honest. And now I could get more ships, but right now I can't, because this is not a planet I own yet. I just defeated the fleet, so I can't get ships here. I have to be on a planet that I own. So what we can do now, however, is invade the planet. So every fleet can move once per turn and then do an action on the planet it is. I think it can do an action on the planet start from as well. No, actually not. No, that's not true. Like, shipyard doesn't count, but every fleet can move once and has a fleet action, and can go to the shipyard as many times as it wants to. So the fleet action on an enemy planet is to invade it. So we press that. You can see the defense number over here. That's the 3. We have to beat that. And we have a siege die which we roll, and that will deal damage to that number. So that's obviously enough. 6 is enough to defeat 3 defense. And now it's our planet. It gains 3 defense as well. Again, and now we can explore the planet, and sometimes there's no event, but usually there is an event, and that gives you various options to do. Planetary improvement. Your advisors have determined this planet is a good candidate for improvements and experimental effects. And now we could go not worth the trouble, then nothing will happen in this case. Usually all the options do something, but in this event, this one is actually just doesn't do anything, if I remember correctly at least. Hack the planet. That gives us a special power for that planet, I think. So let's see what that is. Digitize. We can convert research into a card. So we can convert research points into gaining a card. I didn't talk about cards yet. We should start doing that, I think. So it's a card game as well. I forgot to mention that in my summary of the genre of this game. But yeah, it's a card game as well. We have mana down here, 1 out of 1. You can increase that by conquering crystal wards, which will give you extra crystals. And those will refill every turn, but as long as you only have 1, you can only play cards that cost 1, obviously. And we have cards that cost crystals. And you gain 1 card per turn, and you have a maximum hand size. Right now it's 3, that can change, however, depending on the commander and stuff like that. And, well, let's play a card, shall we? Oh yeah, that's a good one. Titan Crypt, that will just increase my credits per turn for 4 turns, so that's just some extra money. That's useful. Or we could do Landing Party, which allows us to explore this planet again. We can do that next turn. Let's go with that right now. So that's good, and that ends our turn. We used all our fleets, and we used our crystal, and that's what we can do. So this will end our turn. Now you can see that my tyranny meter got up by 13 points, so that's good. Now we lost 10 again because of unrest, and now the AI is doing stuff, and now we gain our income for the next turn and draw a new card. And now it's our turn again. So, yeah, let's go to the shipyard and buy more ships. I like cruisers. Can't afford 2 of them, though. Well, let's buy 1 anyway. Put it there. And have them like this. And now I would like to get another city planet. And that's the ones that give you money. But I can't see one right now, so that's unfortunate. I think I go over here and hope that I get more options. Oh, we go there to get another crystal. Would be useful as well at some point, at least. Yeah, let's go there and get the crystal. Because if not, we're gonna fill up our hand with cards that we can't play, and then we have to discard them, which is a waste. So let's get into fight. That should be fairly easy. We can... Oh yeah, that's good. Or they're both good. Group Hug and 7 Power are all both nice. I think we go for Group Hug there. My ships are all damaged, so... Sounds like a reasonable thing to do. Let's heal, because that one is taking actually a lot of damage. Let's put up the shield wall from my command ability, and now use some other things. It's usually a good idea to use the command ability early on, because of what I described earlier, that you can only use your ship's abilities once, but your command ability multiple times. So that's usually a good idea. Yeah, let's invade that. Let's hope we get it. First try, very good. If you don't get it, you can continue sieging next turn, obviously. We explore. In a distant cell block, you find a renowned bounty hunter locked away. He begs for his freedom. Will you grant it? Demand a ransom. Employ him as a hitman. Let him rot. Sure. Let's say let demand a ransom. So there's no real indicator on what those events will do. It's a little unfortunate, in my opinion. Like, I don't like this event system or this explosion system at all, to be honest. Like, it's basically double random. The first randomness is, well, it's triple random, actually. First randomness is which event do you get, which is okay. I think that's not a terrible thing to be random. Then the next one is not really random, but pseudo-random, because you have to choose between multiple options, but you don't really know what they do, except for the case that you played this game for a lot of hours and remember all the encounters or exploration events, or that you look it up on Wikipedia or something, like not Wikipedia, but Wikia of the game or whatever, or somewhere on the internet. And I don't like that aspect at all. And then all the events have, or most of the options you choose have a random outcome as well, as you can see here. And you don't even see all of them, so it's really hard to learn them, because I don't actually know what the other one is right now. Okay, now I got some money, that's good. But, yeah. Well, I don't know what this is. Usually there's a good and a bad one. Sometimes there are 3 options, but if you don't know them, that doesn't really mean much. So, I don't know. I don't like the exploration mechanic at all. So we got enough research to upgrade our fleet. That gets, like, you generate research per turn, and you have to reach a certain goal, and the goal increases every time you get a research. So now we got the first research you get at 15, I think, and the next one, no, we got the first research at 10, and the next one will be at 15, and it gets more, like, every breakthrough takes more research. So yeah, I like improving my cruisers, so let's do that. I really like cruisers. They seem to be pretty useful in comparison to the other ships, especially if the mission, like at the beginning of the mission, of every mission, the other ships are useful, but later on I tend to only have cruisers, or mostly cruisers, because they're more expensive than the other ships, and they can heal, and I think they're pretty good. So there's a city planet, so we can go there next turn. But not right now, so we can use our crystals. Now we have 2 because we got the crystal well. We can use recall, not useful. We could go space goat, which will decrease unrest. Sure, let's do that. I could do landing party, but that would not be crystal efficient. Not that that's the thing you should try for. Like, being crystal efficient is pretty hard in this game usually. You will start wasting crystals at some point, usually. So we get a new card, another landing party. Okay, well, we could use that now. Or we can use it over there, doesn't really matter. So we can oppress planets if your fleet is on a planet. That's a fleet action as well. If I do that, I cannot move further though, so I'm not going to do that. Which will increase or will have a special effect. In this case, a fleet action, draw a card. So if I press this, I get an extra card. But I have a small chance of a rebellion. Rebellion means there will spawn a fleet I have to fight. A rebel fleet I have to fight, and I have to siege the planet again afterwards. So the rebellion takes over if I'm unlucky. And if you oppress multiple times, the chance of rebellion goes up. So I don't want to do that right now. Instead, we're gonna go to the shipyard, get another cruiser on here, put it there, and then we fly over there and take that city planet. It's not giving a lot of money, but I mean, we take what we get. So 7 power, yeah, or we save a ship. Probably not worth it against a small fleet. So let's do this, steal some energy, and we should be good. Let's just start by doing that. Let's go with this and this. So as you can see, the command ability has a cooldown while the ship's downed. I'm just using all the abilities and win the fight. There we go. So the combat is fairly minimalistic. It's not that exciting. There are some tactical choices and stuff, but it's mostly numbers. If you have the bigger fleet, you win usually. So I don't know. It's not that exciting. I think they looked for an option to make combat fast and accessible, but it turned out to be fairly boring in my opinion. I don't know. I don't like the combat system too much either. It's not terrible. Like, it works. but it's not super fun. And you do a lot of combat in this game, which gets a little tedious in my opinion. But yeah, it's not terrible. Blast crater is surrounded by the blasted and ruined building that make up this world. You find a particular deep crater. At its heart appears to be an alien device half buried in the ground. Pull the device out, carefully plan execution, blast it from orbit. Blasted from orbit sounds fun, but it's usually not a useful option. Let's go for pull device, do some gambling here. Usually the first option is good, so but I think it doesn't sound good though. Nope, not good. 20% HP, minus 20% HP for my ships. I also got a new trait. Trade will influence, well, it says that. Trades influence which exploration events are generated and unlock unique event options. Like, they add up, like you keep them after the mission. You keep them throughout the campaign, so you gain more or more options in the events later on and stuff like that. Which is kind of a good idea, but it still feels very generic. Like there's no real story going on. It's just those random events, and yes, they kind of influence each other. For example, you can gain a pet, which gives you the trait pet, and that gives you options in other events where you can send your pet attack someone or something like that, or there's a trait hitman, which allows you to kill people and stuff like that. But it's all only those exploration events. It's not connected to the rest of the game whatsoever, which makes it feel very generic, I think. So yeah, there's another thing here. Just popped up, the Death Ray button. If you have enough tyranny, you can spend tyranny points to destroy ships. We could do that now. I don't see the risk of running out of tyranny in this mission, so let's just blast some ships. It's not a Senate fleet, but it's a neutral fleet we have to take out at some point anyway, so why not? Let's go landing party here, just to get more events. Okay, I don't have enough money for this option, so we can assassinate the judge because I have Hitman 1 to trade. Let's do that. Actually, no, I know what that does. I had that event before. That's not too useful. We gain a little bit of, we reduce the unrest, which is okay, but since that's not a problem in this mission whatsoever, that was probably the wrong option. This is a very, very common event as well. Some of them are more common than others. So we gain a planet power, which is loot. Permanently damaged planet for 200 credits. Woo. Not terrible. Not sure what damaging does though. Probably reduces the income, but the income of this planet is super low anyway, so we might want to do that at some point. I'm saving up for enough money, or want to save up for enough money to get another fleet commander, or a militia, so we can get a second fleet, because that makes it a little easier to do things. So that might be an option here. Use the loot to gain 300 credits, and then get another fleet down there. That sounds like a good idea, actually. I think I'm gonna do that. Strike patrol, add 2 frigates to a fleet. Yeah, I see that being a good idea. So yeah, I think we do exactly what I just said. Well, we start by going over there. We do this first. So we attack this planet. He has a very small fleet now because the Death Ray. I'd take the heal, sure. Ships have somewhat permanent, like they have permanent damage. I think they heal a little bit between battles, but not fully. So there's that. The cruiser took a lot of damage. Not a fan, but we should be good anyway. There we go. We invade the planet. Oh, he got level 3. That's good. So even bigger fleet and a better ability as well. I'm lucky with my siege rolls in this mission, so that's good. Exploration event. You discover a group of traitors in your midst actively planning against your tyranny. What will you do with them? Public execution, re-educate them, space them, duel their leader. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, that got us a lot of tyranny points. With one quick strike, you take down their leader. The rest of the traitors try to flee, but your troops quickly cut them down. Okay, now so that was not that useful of an option. But I didn't know that beforehand. So again, like I'm picking options here at random, basically. And it's if I would knew what they do, I could make a tactical decision. But yeah, I would prefer that. Just tell me what they do. Like there's a 80% chance you gain that many points of tyranny, and there's a 20% chance you lose some because you lost the duel, and the other option is you have a 50% chance to gain money and a 50% chance to damage your ships or whatever. I don't know. If I would have that information, I could make tactical decisions. As it stands, though, I can't do that, and I just have to live with whatever I get. So that's a little annoying. Let's do that. So that did damage the planet. It doesn't actually show up as a bonus here, just reduced the base income of the planet, I think. So yeah, but now we can hire a militia for 300 gold. You can only do this once on the home planet, but there are other planets, like there are prisons where you can free people and stuff like that. So there you can have multiple fleets. I think the maximum I had was 4, but I would not be surprised if you can have more than that. You could put frigates in that fleet. Let's do that. Joop. There we go. Fill up the fleet. Use the fray. We go there. I really prefer the research over the siege die, but that's a siege die. I'm gonna explain that in a moment. Let's upgrade this first. So if you get the Batrex, you get an extra siege die. It's not the same one. It's a smaller one that just can give you 1 to 3, but it helps with sieging nonetheless. So yeah, I think we use the death ray over here, and then we attack here, and that should be a fairly easy fight. Yeah, let's try to salvage a ship if it goes low. Do we start with the Geo Shield though? No, we start with the Sealed Breach, breach sealing, whatever. And I want to heal that ship, so it's... Oh, never mind, just won the battle. The cruisers can heal. I think I mentioned that earlier, actually. So militia leveled up, very good. Which increased the fleet size. So yeah, it's very important to have big, high-level commanders, so you have bigger fleets, because as I said earlier, fights mostly come down to who has the bigger fleet. So yeah, it's very important, obviously, to level those up. But we could buy more ships, but then they're not going to attack us. Like, neutral ships will not attack you. Sometimes neutral planets will turn to the Senate, depending on the mission. That's more or less likely. And sometimes the Senate can attack you, like Senate ships will attack you, again, depending on the mission, how likely that is. In this mission, since this is an easy mission, the chances for those events are very low. I think I can actually look this. It might tell me when I click here, I'm not sure. Let's wait for the turn to begin. Mission details. So difficulty 1, control golds are control and credits. Quirks, power drain, reduced crystal. Yeah, we start with only 1 crystal. Usually you start with 2. Well, I think it depends on the race, but the bunnies start with 2. No, it doesn't tell me the other details of the mission. That's unfortunate. You can see we have some artifacts here, or no, these are actually not traits. What's the word? I don't know. There are things you earn by winning missions, and you keep them through the campaigning. They give you small bonuses. Perks. That's the word I was looking for. Then we have artifacts here. You can unlock them by winning missions as well, and then you can choose which to take. Like, you have 1 helmet slot, 1 cloak slot, and 1 scepter slot. And those are the traits I acquired so far. And yeah, that's the command I'm using right now. So next up, we got another strike patrol. Yeah, we can use that. Could increase, like, we could increase the fleet here, but it's not really that useful. But there's nothing else we can spend the money on, so I'm probably gonna do that. Let's start with this one though. Get a shipyard. Oh, we don't have that much money actually. Let's get a cruiser and then use strike patrol to gain 2 more frigates. I'd like to have the cruisers next to each other so they can heal each other. Yeah, let's use the death ray. Oh, that's actually a Senate fleet now because it's a Senate planet. A Senate planet, that sounds good. Didn't realize. Should have probably death rayed those, but doesn't really matter in this mission, I guess. Doesn't really matter. I mean, we're gonna win this no matter what. So, oh, what? I guess his ability is to get a second ship, combat stims. Or was that like, I don't know. I don't know where the second ship came from. Something along those lines. Doesn't really matter, obviously. So let's invade that planet. I'm super lucky with my siege rolls. Super lucky. We actually have enough research for the next breakthrough. I don't really read what the different upgrades are usually, because I just choose which ship I want to upgrade. And I usually don't want to upgrade frigates, so I go for cruiser and then the other ones, what they're called. Go for cruisers, then destroyers, usually. You can go for carriers or frigates if you want, but I found it fairly successful to go for cruisers and destroyers mostly, so I just choose upgrades for those ships as well. We don't really have money, but we don't really need to increase our fleet. Let's just go to the next city and try to conquer that as well. Well, it's not really trying, we're just gonna do that. Sure, let's go with that. Let's actually do that. Some fighters, you can see there are a lot of fighters starting flying over to the enemies now, which will attack ships. They ignore shields, I believe. And that's a lot of damage, and there we go. Victory. Wait, the planet. Ah, this time I didn't got lucky. Okay, so this will take a while. I think we're done for this turn. Yeah. Oh, they're deploying militia. I should conquer them. Yeah, you can see that the NPC planets have like research programs. They can either fortify, which will increase the defense, or deploy militia, which will deploy a fleet. I want to stop that from happening. And I think there are more things as well. And the enemy will research better ships as well. So this seems to be the homeworld of the Senate. We're not gonna attack that. Those are one-way routes, by the way. I can't go back here, for example. This is a prison. I can unlock a commander here. He might attack this planet if I leave it, but yeah, I'm still gonna invade it. Super lucky again. Holy moly. So, so we got this plan as well. That's good. Now this fleet uses action though, as I explained earlier. We defray this fleet in case he's trying to attack me. We should probably put more ships in this fleet, just in case he's attacking. We could use that, why not? More defense for this planet, so in case he defeats the fleet, he can't take it easily. So now we go over here and stop this planet from deploying militia by conquering it. Destroy all fighters, stun a ship. I think we go for the fighters again. They're actually pretty useful. Wait for a little bit of energy and then use the ability. It doesn't actually cost energy, it just looks at how much energy you have, I believe. Yeah, let's wait for the Geo Shield to protect our cruisers, and then we send some volleys their way while the fighters are dealing damage. The volleys are just extra attacks, so you deal more damage, if you didn't realize yet. So invade this. There we go. Good roll. And now we get the extra invasion die. Now you can see the red 2 up here. Let's enter, and you will see it the next time we invade a planet. And that stopped the militia from being deployed, obviously. He's deploying militia as well. Oh, that one allied with the Senate. I'm not sure what alligators does. Arena deathmatch, +5 tyranny. Okay, yeah, we're gonna do that. Alligators, increase empire unrest. Agitators, not alligators. What the hell? Don't care too much. I'm more concerned about this one. Yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm definitely gonna go over here because I want that extra fleet here, the extra commander. So we go to the prison. Heal a ship, sure. Speed this up a little bit. Hotkeys work for those buttons, by the way. 1, 2, 3. So that's pretty useful. Let's heal. Why not? Speed this up, and there we go. Victory. Victory is ours. And now we invaded. Now you see the extra invasion die. Like it's a small die with 1, 2, 3. So it's a D3, and yeah, they just get added together, and that allowed us to gain this siege this prison. Wormhole plus without warning, wormhole like anomaly appears in front of your fleet. Entering the wormhole is not a terrible idea because maybe it gets us somewhere useful, but maybe not. It can destroy ships, I believe. So let's say blast it and see what happens. Particle harvest. Hammering the anomaly at all angles with hard gamma rays and fusion bolts caused it to disperse. Several exotic particles are collected from the remains. Money. Okay, I take money. Money's good. You can't argue with money, can't you? Okay, so we could get this planet. I think I want to go for the control victory. So taking this planet is a thing I want to do sooner or later. So let's do that now, because we have that move ready, and also allows us to level up this new commander we just unlocked. What's his ability? Meteor strike. Okay. Removal of effects. Oof, yeah, let's go for that. Why not? Start by healing, throwing out some volleys. I don't expect this fight to go for a long time. That's why I don't use the command ability early. Just using the ship abilities early to get some early damage out and destroy some ships. And now I'm going to use the meteor strike to finish it off. And there we go. And that brings him to level 2. And thanks to the invasion die, we gain another invasion die. Oh yeah, I should use my death ray. Time tourist. With a sudden pop, an outlandish dressed person appears in your audience hall claiming to be a tourist from the future. How will you receive them? It's a snail, apparently. Okay. Give a tour. Sure. Why not? Bamboozled. Midway through the Imperial tour, you realize the tourist has disappeared, along with several critical pieces of equipment. He stole money. What an asshole. Well, fair enough. Let's blast some ships. And what do we do down here? Oh, there's another city we can conquer. Oh, or another fleet. Yeah, we're gonna go there, especially because there's a militia popping up there next turn. So we want to be next to that anyway. All large ships do know that's not help. Heal ship. Yeah, sure. Volley, volley. Heal. Volley. Heal, volley, seal breach. Oh no, couldn't heal it. Doesn't matter, they heal a little bit anyway. Militia level up, we can invade that and hopefully gain another fleet. There we go, that worked out nicely. It's quite obvious now that I will win this. But it will probably take me one more turn actually. Okay, not too bad. Sometimes it drags on a little bit. It's not that terrible this time, fortunately. So we can send that to a different planet. Let's go there to prevent the militia from spawning. Should be able to win this fight. Yeah. Let's use laser strike. Let's play it a little bit offensively here. Seal breach. Now we heal a little bit. Another breach. And wait for the meteor strike. Don't get any inspiration, so I can't use my energy. Oh, we could do another meteor strike. But the fight is over already. So there we go. Invade this planet as well. Go, two extra invasion dice make this fairly easy, but I also rolled very well. So no, this time no exploration event. Sometimes that happens. And next time we should be able of winning. We should be able to win because we need one more planet. Allow a planet to be sieged again. Now that should seal it, yeah. That should definitely seal the deal. So we need one more planet, let's pick one. We just go with... Wait. To speed it up a little bit, we use the death ray first. And then we attack there. That should speed up the fight a little bit. Yeah, whatever. Volley, volley. 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 And there we go. Victory. And now we have to invade. It has 7 defense. Didn't realize. Probably should have gone for that one. But since I just got that card that allows me to siege again, well, doesn't matter. Never mind. Never mind. There we go. That seals the deal. We gain the control victory, win the mission, gain rewards, got an extra artifact, unlocked a new card for my deck, apparently. And got a title. I think those are just achievements, and got some stats here over here. And now we go back to the campaign overview, and beating this mission, destroy, well, I'm gonna explain that in a moment. So let's wait for it to play out. Okay, there we go. So first we gain another perk, pillaging protocols, 25 credits after each combat victory. Ooh, that's good. Training protocols, commander start. Oh, that's useful as well though. No, I'm gonna go with this because especially in longer missions, when you get or in the harder missions, I should say, if you gain a commander later on, they usually, like, it's hard to level them up because they can't win fights because they're level 1 and have a very small fleet. So that's a really useful perk. Okay, so what is this? This is the command or the campaign overview. We have 3 different like worlds: the Twisting Nebula, the Hive worlds, and the burrowed fields. Yeah, it's the home worlds of the 3 different races, I think: the slugs, the wasps, and the bunnies. And each of those has 4 different missions. They are not all like they. When you start a campaign, only one of those missions is unlocked. So in every world, one mission is unlocked, and every turn, one more mission gets unlocked. So after 4 turns, you have all the missions unlocked. Every time after every mission, the Senate will start conquering those planets or increase its control over those worlds. And you can decrease the control by winning missions in that area, so in that world. So yeah, by beating a mission, you reduce the control. That's what happened at the beginning here when I beat the mission. And now I would probably go here because if the Senate get control over one world completely, then you lose the campaign. And you win the campaign by beating multiple missions, which will reduce this lock here. So I beat 5 so far. I have to beat 3 more, and that will unlock the Senate war mission, and then I can attack the Senate and win the campaign. And yeah, so my next move would be to probably go for this mission. I learned the hard way that you should not go for the hard missions if you don't have to. So you should start out with the easy missions and then work your way up to the harder ones when you gain extra perks and stuff like that, because the hard missions are actually really hard. So I lost multiple missions, and that didn't end well. And that's, besides the other critic points I already mentioned, this is the biggest issue I have with this game. Most missions you play are either too easy or too hard, and therefore boring. So there's only, like, I don't know, every 3rd mission or so that is actually challenging, and where you feel, yeah, I've won this because I played well, or I lost this because I played badly. Most of the missions are either like super easy, like the one we just played, or super hard, and you have no chance whatsoever because you're not leveled up enough yet. So that's, in my opinion, very unfortunate. Especially because it's hard to determine if this mission is too hard or too easy for me right now. Like, it's hard to judge for me without having a lot of experience, because there are not enough informations about this. It just says, okay, difficulty 4. What does this mean exactly? I don't know. It doesn't tell you what that means exactly, and it also doesn't give you an indicator on, like, what do I need to beat a level 4 mission, for example. I don't know. And sure, you can argue that as part of the game. You have to learn that it's a roguelite. You have to try over and over again. Sure, but for a roguelite, this is pretty slow because everyone takes multiple hours. And in my opinion, if you play a game for multiple hours and you will not have fun with it, because most of the missions are not fun because you don't have the experience to pick the missions that are actually challenging but not too hard and not too easy either, then that's just not good game design. Like, if I don't have fun because I'm not picking the right missions, then something is wrong with the game here, in my opinion. And that's definitely the case here for me. Like, the game is not terrible, don't get me wrong. It's kind of fun, the writing is pretty good, the art style is cool as well. The theme in general is cool and fun. But a lot of the game mechanics, like, none of the game is polished and everything. Like, there's nothing completely broken with this game, but there's just a lot of details that put me off. Like, as I explained earlier, the combat system is fairly dumbed down. There's I don't like the exploration event mode thingy either in the way it is. Like, I like the fact that it exists, but I don't like the way it is implemented. And I don't like how the campaign works either, because as of the thing I just explained, most missions are just boring because they're too easy or too hard. And that just seals the deal for me. That's especially the last point, because it makes like 66% or more of my time spent on the game just boring because of that. And yeah, on top of that, combat is pretty repetitive and gets boring fast, and a lot of the animation takes unnecessarily long. I don't know why. Like, there are delays everywhere. It's always only like a few split seconds or maybe a second or two between things, but it adds up over time, and you wonder why you can't just click the next thing you want to click, because you know what you want to do, but the game doesn't let you yet, and you have to wait for the turn to run over or the fleet to go there and the event to pop up and things like that. It just adds up, and that doesn't help either. So yeah, I don't have too much fun with the game, and I'm gonna stop playing it after recording of this video. But let me show you around a little bit. So this is the campaign button. You can always only have one campaign active at a time, but you can play skirmishes if you want to, where you can play. Choose the empire you play. I don't have the other ones unlocked yet, so I can only play the Hoplite clan so far. And you can actually play against another empire, and I think this is actually. I'm not actually sure how this works. I started a skirmish earlier, but I didn't try it out exactly. No, never mind. No, it works the same way as the campaign mission. So the race is determined by the world you are in the campaign, and you can choose it in the in this mode, obviously in the skirmish mode, but it still plays as the Senate and not like against another player with the same terms as you do. So the game is never symmetric, which is not a problem for me. But yeah, you can play this, but there's no real reason to play a skirmish when you can just play the campaign, I think. I mean, okay, maybe it's a little. You can, yeah, sure. It's fun, nice that this mode is here. It gives you the ability to try out things and maybe choose. It's actually probably a good way to play this game now that I think of it, because it allows you to choose the difficulty you want and set up the game in a way that it is fun for you, hopefully, anyway. But yeah, you can put the different quirks in here and everything, so that's good. It's good that it is here. Let's take a look at the settings menu. We have separate sound sliders, we have VSync on and off, we have full screen and window mode. However, full screen is not real full screen, it's borderless window. I like borderless window, but some people prefer real full screen, so it would be nice if we would have the option. Quality-wise, there's just a few presets, which is okay for a 2D game, and usually like there's no reason to have tons of different shader options and stuff like that. Resolution options, so that's good as well. And then there's some UI options you can turn on or off, certain confirmation buttons, and you can show FPS if you so desire. So yeah, it's technically it's well done. It's not amazing, but it feels polished. There are no bugs and nothing, so it went well through early access. Seems to be a complete game. As I said earlier, the theme and the art style and the writing is pretty good, and it's fun for a while, but the gameplay just drags it down for me. And yeah, it doesn't hold up after a few hours, in my opinion. Like, it's fun when you start it out. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention one of the worst parts of it. Like, after you watch this video, that's not affecting you, but for people who just jump into this game blind, the tutorial is based on videos. It just plays YouTube videos. It's like, I think 10 videos or something, and they're not even good. Like, they're just with text, no voiceover, hard to follow. Like, the tutorial of this game is terrible, so you can use this video as a tutorial, I guess. It's a little lengthy though for that, if that's the only purpose. So yeah, but I don't know. It's called Space Tyrant. It will leave early access at the 27th of February, so in a few days. If you're interested in it, links in the description below. I'm not recommending it if you're not super desperate for this kind of game. I think it's a cool idea. The mix of different genres is really good. Like a short 4X part is a cool thing, because I like the idea of 4X, but I don't want to spend hours upon hours on a long campaign, on a long mission. I'm not that kind of guy. So I enjoy the short format that the developers chose here for the 4X part of the game. That's pretty cool. Combine it with roguelite elements and combine it with the card game as well. That's a nice choice in my opinion. Works pretty well, but rest of the game drags it down tremendously, and therefore I can't recommend it if you're not super desperate for this kind of game. So yeah, as I said, it's called Space Tyrant. I'm TH Pine. Thanks a lot for watching. Have fun and see you next time.